Hey everybody, this is Will with the Bomber Strap. In this review, we're going to cover the Big Agnes 5-person tent. It's a modular system that comes in 3 different components. I'm going to tell you why this system should be in your truck and when you need to use it. Now, most of you know, and if you're into overlanding, you already have a pop-up tent on your truck. And we all know the advantages of that is that it's convenient. Obviously, it's an immediate shelter, but it can't do everything for us. For example, if we really want to get out there and away from people, we're going to have to hoof it, right? And so it's important to talk tents and to know what's out there. Most of your minimalistic tents are going to do the job. They're lightweight. Some come in under 2 pounds, which are great for backpacking. However, if you have a big family or if you want something that is modular, tactical, and minimalistic, this fits the bill. And as you know, at Bomber Strap, that is our motto, which is minimalistic, tactical, and durable. So we meet all those criteria, and so does the Big Agnes tent. So it comes in 3 modular components. One is the Tarp system, so that's going to be kind of the triangular teepee-like setup that will work as a standalone shelter. Now, with that type of shelter, you're not going to have bug protection. So if you want to have bug protection in addition to a well-established tarp, then what you want to do is get the inner liner system, and that's going to, of course, be your bug netting and things like that. It's going to be really nice. It pairs well with the tarp system, and you know, again, it's a really neat system, meaning that the two work together and it only requires 1 pole to set up, which is different than other systems that have multiple poles that can be made out of lightweight aluminum and possibly break. Now, the problem with that is that you have no substitute when they break. With this system, you could just simply, instead of using this, use your trekking poles together or use a large branch if you needed to, but just make sure that the edges are beveled and they don't scar the fabric of the tent. The last and third component is the footprint. Why is this helpful? Well, if you imagine you're carrying the tent, maybe you have the inner liner system and then you have the tarp. This is going to take up a lot of room, but if it's a 5-person system that you're toting around, you probably have additional people with you that could bring your food and water and that sort of thing. So with the addition of the footprint, what you would get out of this is the ability to always stay dry. But in addition to that, if you didn't want to use it and the ground was dry and you wanted a tarp set up for shade, this can work as an additional shelter for you. So a great system, 3 components, the footprint, the inner liner, and then the tarp, which is the actual tent itself. It's an absolutely great system. Here's why it's great and why it's effective. 1, to set it up, all you have to do is set up 4 perimeter stakes. Okay, so lay out the tarp, 4 stakes, equidistant from each other, and then you walk in the tent and you extend the pole and then you have your shelter. So that's literally 2 steps and you have a shelter. To finish it off, you're gonna stake out the rest of the perimeter and then you're done. So that's pretty much it. A very simple system, highly effective. Why do I stand by it? Well, I actually used the 3-person version in Alaska. So we went on a 5-day pack rafting adventure and we used that tent during rainy conditions as our eating tent. So we had a tent that we'd eat in and a tent that we would sleep in. Okay, so we kept them separate because we didn't want to attract bears into the tent where we were sleeping in. So this was our kind of our community tent, and it really was a cool tent that gave you a sense of community because you face each other, you sit in a circle, and the neat thing about it is that it kind of makes you feel like you're outdoors a little bit more too, because you have 2 doors in the system. So with the door open on each side and the fact that you have an insulated shelter, it's just a neat system that has a ton of height that makes you feel comfortable when you're outdoors. I really like it and I stand by it. So when we did the pack rafting, we did the 3-person system and we literally just shoved it in the vestibule for the pack raft and took it everywhere. And the system was awesome. So that's why I stand by this Big Agnes system. I'll let the rest of the videos kind of play and you can see how I set it up and some tips on the staking aspect.
So the quickest way to do the stakes is you'll have these loops on the end, and you'll just take the loop and put it over the other loop. That's the fastest way. And then drive the spike through, and then you have your square knot.
Some pros and cons, things I like and things I don't like. I like the fact that this is a durable metal. I don't like the fact that if this gets scarred, then it's gonna damage the liner of the tent. So to get around that, I might put some type of cloth or t-shirt on the top before I go to lift it up and stake it into the material of the tent. That being said, it would then protect this. Big Agnes could have done some things where they improved the capability of this pole by putting a hook system. It's a lot of material, it's a big system. There could be built-in efficiencies. Well, maybe on the 2.0 version, they'll consider some of those things. But that's it. This is a product, again, that I can stand by. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you have questions, please hit me up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And again, the Bomber Strap is the only single mountain bike tailgate pad on the market. It's a patented system designed to be minimalistic and tactical. Check it out at bomberstrap.com. Until next time, I'll see you.